Hello viewers, it is the 8th of July 2022 and the program is the Dailies on Echo Television Africa, where we tend to look at various stories trending on our Nigerian newspaper, one of which is the lament coming from the governor saying they won't be able to pay salaries because of the fuel subsidy. I am Sarah Elisha Dashom and I have with me
Ola Vitosin, good morning.
Thank you so much, Dosi, for doing this with me. Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday.
I mean, we get to rest from all the ups and downs and even the pain coming from, it's no longer news, especially the prison break, the attack on the president's convoy, but especially the prison break, because especially the fact that we have Khalid, who is among the inmates that actually escaped from the prison. It's really very sad where we have hardcore criminals like that being joined together with criminals that are not hardcore. Especially we have the Abba Kyari, the Darie, and those people are still in the same prison in Abuja, the Kuje Correctional Center, and yet we're still having hardcore criminals like that. I know it will bring to mind, people will say, why didn't they actually take them to Kirikiri prison, where we know those are where especially hardcore criminals are being kept? Why will they be joined together with minor criminals, permit me to use that word, even though a crime is a crime, but there are people that are more notorious than the other, and it's important, or it's wise rather, that we actually weigh how we do certain things, because this will really tell on the intelligence of Nigeria. Because there were there have been speculations that there was an intelligence report prior to that attack, and now this will bring to mind, if there was an intelligence report, what did we do with that report? Did we fold our arms and let things to just go by? Because if I believe that if something was done with that report, wouldn't be where we are right now, saying that over 65 inmates are missing. And even the fact that that operation took place for over 3 hours, and you begin to ask questions, hello, what happened? Where were the security agency that were supposed to be in charge of all this? What happened to the CCTV? And all that. So this is really a sad one, where we have to talk about things like this, rather than talking about growth of the nation, how we can provide solution to other things. And then we're still going back to the issue of insecurity that is eating us deep and deep every day.
Sele, you spoke about saying that during the weekend we'll rest from all these things. I would like to remind you that we keep on having issues like this coming up every day. We keep on having sad news coming up every day happening in our country. And I would like to go back memory lane concerning Al-Barnawi, that's Khalid Al-Barnawi, who was the mastermind for the United Nations headquarters bomb blast in 2011 in Abuja. And we know during that bomb blast, 18 lives were lost and over 100 persons were severely injured during that bomb blast. And why do we still have Al-Barnawi in Kuje prison up till date? And we also want to talk about the Kaduna train attack, because after attacking those passengers, they came up and said they want their people that are in prisons to be released. Later on, they came up and said the government know what they need. And I would like to say, narrow this down to Al-Barnawi. Now we see that this Kuje prison, Al-Barnawi was rescued. He was rescued. He's among those people who were freed. Should we say that they are working hand in hand with these people? Because I would like to say, look at our prisons. Our prisons are congested. When we had the last prison break, before this Kuje prison break, we had it in Kogi State, and we saw where the Minister of Interior visited those places, and he said that our prisons are congested, and this goes down to where we have people who have been tried and justice is not taking place for those people. We see people coming up and saying they've been in prison for long and nothing is being done to them. They've not gone through trials, they've not gone through anything, and you keep those people there. Just like what you said, why do we have hardened criminals in our minimum correctional centers? We're not supposed to have them in such places. And now you see this issue where you see the hardened criminals and even other criminals together. What do you expect these people to plant into the mind of such persons? We know Al-Barnawi is known for masterminding prison break even while in prison, because he is said to have a high IQ, and he masterminds so many atrocities even in the country, even while in prison. And now we see that Al-Barnawi have been rescued, and Al-Barnawi has he has caused so many havoc even in our country. He works hand in hand with all this terrorist group, and now he has been rescued. We need to look into all these things. Now we have Mr. President saying what is happening to the intelligence report of our prison, what is happening to the security guards, where terrorists come up even with weapons, go to such places. And I would like to remind you that the day we had this prison break, that was the same day the convoy of Mr. President was attacked. So you see that it's like a way of distracting people from what was happening here and doing another kind of crime in another place. So we see that no one is safe. The country is not safe. Now Abuja is now a den for kidnappers. Sele, during 2013, 2014, we knew that this issue of insecurity was just in Borno, Maiduguri. And now we see that it has spread across so many places, almost all the states. Now we see attacks even in prison. We see people being killed even on the highway. We see so many things happen. Now look at the Kaduna train attack victim. Today makes it 102 days that they have been in this den. And now what happened? They are saying that they will start killing these people. They gave 24 hours that they will start killing these people, despite the fact that these people are exposed to so many reptiles. They're exposed to so many things. Even their family members had to protest the day they marked 100 days in the den of kidnappers. They protested for their release. Must we go through all these things in our country every day? Must we go through all this cry, all this lament, all this torture? Because people are being tortured. I would like to say that people are being tortured. Sele, if I just hope we get to a time where people will be relieved of their duties based on incompetence.
True.
We should not work on loyalty any longer, because we can't hand over our country to people because on the basis of loyalty. I would like to say those people have their own personal businesses. If I have been loyal to you, Sele, I have my personal business. I should work with your business, not handing over Nigeria to me because I have been loyal to you. Because we are going through hard times. We are going through so many difficult situations. People that are given positions to occupy and they are not giving out their best, then they should be relieved. We have so many people that are competent enough to handle situations like that, that are competent enough to handle positions like that if given the opportunity. We should not look into all this issue of loyalty any longer. If you are not working how it's supposed to be, then you should be sacked. We have the advisor to the security advisor, that is Babagana Mungono. What are we doing concerning this? You are in charge of security, and insecurity have become the order of the day. We go to prisons, we'll go and we say it's a sad issue. We're tired of sad issues happening. We look out for actions. Select actions, that's what we want. Because if you follow up this story of this Kuje prison break, you imagine they did this for 3 hours and nothing happened. There was a lecture in Hausa, in Fulani, and even in Ebira language. They lectured these inmates before giving them money, transportation to go to their various destinations. And we say that there's no security agency that could come out to this. So now we need to look into all this things, because Nigerians are way more brilliant than what is happening. Nigerians are thinking out of the box, and we think very fast, because if things like this happen, you have to think very fast. We are thinking very fast, and we see that it's beyond this Kuje prison. There are so many things that are into it. We need actions. Now we see that even despite the fact with this insecurity, with this Kuje prison jailbreak, and even the convoy of Mr. President that was attacked, we see that Mr. President jetted out of the country to Senegal. He should have people who will represent him in journeys like this when we are facing serious issue in our country. So like, there are some things we're not supposed to do. There are some things, people occupying key positions. If really you have the interest of this country, then you should put your country first.
Well, he said the reason why he attended that summit was so that the terrorists will not think that they have actually taken charge or they have taken control. But just like you say, we need to come to a point where we have to give position based on competence, and also forget about this godfatherism of a thing, because I think this is what is eating this country, and we have gotten to where we are presently.
But those people don't even care, even if you think that they are taking charge or they've taken charge. They don't care. They go after what's their aims and their objective, and they go after it. They don't care what you think of. They're not concerned about what your worries or your thing. They just look out for ways they can achieve what they want to achieve, and they're achieving it because not just just in Abuja. We see it happening in different places. There are some that have been silent, and there are some that are open like this.
Well, Tosi, let's look at the papers, what they have for us this morning. And remember, our viewers, we are live on Facebook, so do well to drop your comment concerning any of the story that is of interest to you. And also at 9:30, we'll open the phone line where you can call us and also make your contribution. Tosi, let's move to the first paper.
The first paper is the Nigerian News Direct, and Debt Management Office lists $1.25 billion Eurobond on NGX and FMDQ. On Dakar Summit, Nigeria orders to receive $65.1 billion IDA financial package. This is coming from President Muhammadu Buhari. And we just hope that this financial package that is given to our country will be used in the right way. Will be used to look out into insecurity. Will be used to look into the agricultural sector. It will be used to look into those sectors. Now we still have the NAFDAC are still on their strike. We look into all those sectors that need so many things to be done. All the sectors that are talking about their welfare, look into the pension scheme. We should use this money well, because we have foreign nations, foreign aid supporting our country, but you see that this money are just being used in the wrong direction, used for their own, I would like to say, for their own personal use. So all this money, if they are used in the right direction, we will grow and we will tackle all this problem that have become the order of the day in our country. Ogun police parried 42 suspects for cultism, murder and armed robbery. Details can be found in page 12 of the Nigerian News Direct. The big story on rising subsidy: we won't be able to pay salaries, governors lament. Call for accountability, transparency of oil, gas revenues. Barrister Madaki is saying Nigeria heading towards bankruptcy. And Ehindero is saying give local refinery operation a chance. NIPR seeks collaboration with NCC on national integration-based solution. Oshobo Progressive Union Indigenes endorse Oyetola for second term. And BP privatization, 16 firms pre-qualify for national power project. The back page will have the column of Femi Additional, and that's all on the Nigerian News Direct.
Thank you, Tosi. Let's take a look at the Nation newspaper. Ekuremadu, organ donor not a minor, UK court rules, with detail on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. How to achieve global economic recovery by the World Bank, still on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. Editors, proprietors reject attempt to yank the media. Court disqualifies Delta PDP governorship candidate, with detail on page 3. And the countdown to the Osun 2022 gubernatorial election. 4 injured as PDP and APC supporters clash in Eden. Kwankwaso present flag to NNPP candidate. Student endorse Oyetola. Adeleke, I won't let Obas down. You can read more of that on page 28 of the Nation newspaper. Oil marketers seek CBN dollar intervention to cut fuel and gas prices, with detail on page 5. The big story on the Kuje attack: Senate shocked by no CCTV, porous security. With the rider Indume urges sanction for those who failed in their duties. Prisons not designed to resist external attacks, says Minister. Buhari summoned emergency security meeting, and I think this is where even the governors have to insist on having this security meeting, because we know that the president is a chairman of this security or revitalization meetings. But where we are having that the president has, because I remember when the governors one time met with the president and were complaining of insecurity in their various states, he told them to go secure their state. So I think that the ball is in their court right now to provide solutions on what they have to do. No one that the governor of Zamfara state was actually frustrated to the point that he told the indigents to take on arms. But just like we said, it's not the way forward. So it's really sad where we're having the minister saying that the prison are not designed to resist external attack. I expected that more should be done about that. This is not a report we want to receive from any means of any form. We are waiting, just like you said, where you come out and take up responsibility and say, yes, we failed to protect this prison. Because this is not the first time Kuje facility was attacked. This is not the first. I think this is even the third attempt on that prison. That is to say that a lot of eye has been on there, just like you said, where we are having minors and notorious criminal mingling together. Definitely they will influence those that were there for a minor case. So we just hope that more will be done. We'll keep our fingers crossed. We'll follow this story to the latter to make sure that justice is being taken, and we hope that the inmates that have escaped will actually be brought back. We're expecting, we're even on our papers, we should have pictures of all these inmates, just in case if I come across any of these criminals, I can report to the proper authority, just like we did during the Jos prison attack. So I just hope that the security agency will do more to look into this attack in the prison. Other stories still on the nation. This is from the international world. Boris Johnson quit to remain as British caretaker prime minister. And downside of the paper, holiday on Monday, Tuesday for the Il Kabir, and Catholic priest abducted, with detail on page 2. And that's all on the Nation newspaper.
On First News, Kuje attack, resign now. Ohaneze Ndibo tells service chiefs and defense minister. Sanwo-Olu suspends Lagos abortion guidelines implementation. While on organ harvesting, kidney donor not a minor, UK court rules, denies Ekweremadu wife bill. And we know concerning the kidney harvesting, the family of Ekweremadu and that of David Upo. Now David is saying he's 21 years, not 15, but we still leave it to the court to give out the judgment concerning this issue, despite the fact that Ekweremadu's wife, up to date, she has been denied bail. But we'll just look out for the outcome, and justice should be served appropriately. Still on the Kuje prison attack, 2 policemen nabbed and detained for communicating with runaway terrorists in compromising manner after the incident. Insiders collaborated with attackers, says the Senate president. Joe Aribo to undergo medical ahead of Southampton move. And 6 key events that led to UK PM Boris Johnson resignation. How I faked kidnap to get money from my parents. This is coming from a suspect. Security agents manhandle controversial prophet in Daboski, demolish his building. The rider says why we pulled down Odumeje's structure. This is from the Anambra State government, and the follow-up of the story can be found on the First News page 11. Doyin Okupe is saying I've withdrawn as the Labour Party's vice president candidate. Fake army general who forged Obasanjo Buhari's signature jailed for 7 years. An ex-Burkina Faso president Kampore returns from exile. The last story on the First News on the Eid al-Kabir, federal government declares Monday, Tuesday public holiday. Detail, that's all on the First newspaper.
Thank you, Tosin. Let's take a look at the Guardian newspaper. Catholic priest abducted in Benue, with detail on page 27. 9 died, 12 injured in the Kaduna Zaria road crash, with detail on page 8. Flutterwave false money laundering claims from Kenya. This is a business news, and you can read more of that on page 19 of the Guardian newspaper. The big story, NAFDA joins Research Institute strike, food safety threatened. The writer following that story, Agric Medical Water Soil Institute paralyzed. Absence of NAFDA at ports spells doom for food and drug safety. Port congestion worsened, products approval delayed. Nigerians have raised the alarm over safety of food and drugs as the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control fully join other research institutes and associate institutions in their 8-month-old strike action. This implies that the agency would practically be unable to carry out its mandate of controlling and ascertaining safety and wholesomeness of food imported through the seaport, airports, and land ports. And this, you can read detail of that on page 6. And Tosi, I remember we spoke about this strike of NAFDAC, actually, which I think initially it was a warning strike, but presently it has looked like they have joined other research institutes for the 6-month-old strike. And this will really spell doom for us, Tosi, because imagine what it will mean, that we'll be having food coming into the country from all our shores, whether it's land or sea, or the sea, or even by air, without anybody cross-checking if this thing is eatable or not, or if they are the product we use on asking whether they are good or not. So I really think that the federal government, we really need to rise up. I don't want us to get to that point where Nigeria will be spelled as a failed state, because what this means is that every other sector is falling down gradually, one after the other. We are not here trying to say that the government are not doing their best, but we are saying that the people, the agency, the ministries that are behind all this are not doing their work. And we are calling on them because we elected the representatives of these various places, even though some were given appointment from the presidency. So it still boils down to us that when you employ somebody, definitely you ask for accountability from that person, because you need to know where your money is going to. So we just hope that more will be done to actually check on this strike, because if we're having our educational sectors on strike, our research institute on strike, and every other sector would gradually, the doctors will soon say they are going on strike, everybody will soon shut down the country. Are we trying to fold the country? So I just hope that we'll really rise up to the challenge that we have presently and do something about it.
Yes, Ella, there was a time we had fake drugs in circulation where people administered the same drugs and they even died. Some lost their life as a result of taking these fake drugs. And we know that this agency took it upon themselves to go out, go to all this pharmacy, go to all these industries. They sealed some pharmacies, sealed some industries because of production of fake drugs, and even apprehended those people that were behind the production of these fake drugs. Then imagine this same agency on strike. That means this gives ground to people who are in circulation of fake drugs, those who are in production of even fake drugs, to go about doing their activities. Then we need to go, then what happens to the drugs that people are being administered to, and what happens to the drugs people buy even in all this pharmacy? We need to look into all the sectors that are shutting down. We look at all the sectors that are going on strike, and this goes back to the issue of incompetency. If you are given a position to occupy and see that you can't give out your best in that position, it's better off you resign, or it's better off you are being sacked, so that people who are competent enough can take over this position. We see where ministers who have been sworn in, they gave out their promises. I will do this, I will do that within 2 months, I will do this, I will do that. And we see now that ministers, we know that the new ministers are fond of giving excuses. We see concerning this jailbreak saying the building cannot resist external attack. So we see that all these excuses coming from our ministers. We saw where we're having this issue of the blackout, where the Minister of Power gave us series of excuses, and now the new seven appointed ministers are giving us promises. We just hope that they work with their promises. It won't become a thing of excuse any longer. If you're occupying a position, give out your best in such a position, so that your best can come out for people to be able to see that yes, he or she is giving out his best, and he or she is doing what he or she is supposed to do. So we need to look out for ways people who are competent can occupy position, and if you are given that position, you give out your best to people.
Of course, Tosin. Well, a picture story here on the Guardian newspaper towards making Nigerians Football League competitive and profitable. You can read the big story on pages 4 and 5. Downside of the paper on insecurity, Sultan calls for prayer. Lawan blames insider conspiracy in the Kuje jailbreak, with detail on page 6. And that's all on the Guardian newspaper.
On the Punch, we have marketers depot fight over 16.6 billion naira litres fuel diversion. Terrorists trooping southwards, Akeredolu cries out. Oil companies reject federal government penalties over gas flaring, and reps probe customs over auctioned PMS and orders. 16 firms pre-qualified for 5 NIPP's privatization. NCDC confirms 84 monkeypox cases, 3 deaths. The big story on Kuje prison invasion. Interpol gets fleeing inmates data. Border security heightened as 4,300 inmates on the run after 18 jailbreaks. Lawan laments ISWAP recruiting 5,000 fighters, says report. Falana blames the federal government. Commuters groan in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway gridlock. Kidnappers demand 20 million naira for Ikiti travelers, hold priest. Details can be found in page 5. Over 940 Kano pilgrims stranded, government hopeful. Mark Abaribe present as UK court remands Ekweremadu. Federal government declares Monday, Tuesday public holidays. Driver remanded for throwing feces at LASMA official. On governorship, court sacks Okowa's candidate, Ibori's loyalist win. Details can be found in page 13, and that's all on the Punch newspaper.
Thank you, Tosi. Let's take a little look at the world of business from the Business Day newspaper. Why PIA hasn't attracted investments to Nigerians. This is coming from the Petroleum Industry Act. Other stories here. Boris Johnson resignation holds lessons for Nigeria. We detailed on page 2. 5 steps to transfer your PVC online. So it's very important that you read this to see how you can transfer your PVC. You can read more of that on page 2 of the Business Day newspaper. Experts to discuss precious metal at the Business Day breakfast meeting, with detail on page 31. An inside detail of the unpaid petrol bridging claims. The big story on Business Day newspaper. Hospitals explore disease donor kidney transplant. As cases rise in Nigeria and need low living donation. And on Ekweremadu's case, UK court says organ donor not a minor. We can read detail of that on page 30 of the Business Day newspaper. And Chelsea, before we move to other papers lined up this morning, we'd like to take a break where we can open the phone lines for our callers. Do well to call us, and please remember, when you call us, move away from your TV set, and you also have 30 seconds. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. It's still the Dailies on Echo Television Africa, and we have been looking at various stories trending on our Nigerian newspaper, from the prison break down to governors complaining that they will not be able to pay salaries. And I'm Sarah Elisha Dasham, and I've been doing this alongside Tosi Owolabi.
It's a pleasure.
And right at this moment, our phone lines will be open, where you can call us and let us know what your views are. Please remember, you have 30 seconds, and also you move away far from your TV set. We are also live on Facebook, so we'll do well. You can actually do well to drop your comments. But before we move further, to see, we have a comment on Facebook, and I would like to take that comment. And this is coming from Augustine Shemak. He said, "A glorious weekend to you, my brave sisters, Sele and Tosi. It's heartbreaking what the Nigerian project has become, for God's sake. People are killed in their cold blood, while the government of the day came in with 3-point matters to fight: corruption, insecurity, and improve economy. But what is the narration to all this set? It's opposite of to knowledge of every rational Nigerian. The only language of Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari is traveling around the world, attending summits that are not felt by the citizens. Everyone testified. The president and the national security advisor are all retired generals with nothing to show. God will judge all actions and reaction, comes what may. Shemak from Kaduna. Thank you, Shemak. He's really a regular comment. He always makes sure he's active in the morning program, and it's really sad with issues that are happening. But we just hope that all these things that are happening, our retired general will actually, give their quarter of their intelligence that they have gathered so far, and let us have young blood people who are competent and accountable to actually provide solutions to things that are happening. Let's move further to other papers we have to see.
I'll take the Daily Independent. Lawan lambasts Nigerian Correctional Service over Kuje jailbreak. We have Mr. Joseph from Ghana. Good morning, Mr. Joseph.
Hello.
Good morning. We can hear you. Go on with your comment.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Please, I want to make a comment on your contribution this morning. I want to thank you at least for telling Nigeria what is going on Nigeria. I'm calling from Ghana, precisely. But coming to this Kojo prison, it is evidence to prove that Nigeria is no longer having any security. If an innocent man can go for a prison and a bandit man will be grant amnesty, it means that it's only God that can help us in this country, in our country, because it's no longer our country, it's our country. So for people to went and build Kojo prison, seems to mean that there are some government transfers that are working towards that. It's not easy for people to organize themselves to go and build a whole prison without the help of some government officials. So, and now our so-called presidents are traveling from one place or the other, based on what the one Kaduna guy said now, what I'm hearing. And she has to understand that where are these UN for them to intervene on what is happening in Nigeria? A lot of bandits, a lot of killing, a lot of. Okay, last time they went to the state and the massacre about 70, according to what we heard. Where are these UN people to intervene on Nigeria? What is happening? The killing is too much. The killing is too much. And still, they are granting amnesty to the bandits. It's unfair. It's unfair. At least, even God self can intervene. We are even praying for God to intervene on this matter. Good morning. I have a nice day.
Thank you very much for your comment and your contribution on this issue. It's talking about the Kuje prison break and what the government is supposed to do. Talking about we need foreign aids to help us intervene. But I would like to say we had this issue where the senators in US wanted to intervene, and what Lai Mohammed said, he said we're not having issues like that. Definitely, people have listened to what is happening. Foreign aids are aware of what is happening, but the doors are not open to them in our country for them to intervene in the situation at hand. But we're just hopeful that the government will do something, and also it lies in your hands to get your PVC, because they have barely a year in power. You have your PVC, get your PVC, and when it's time for election, come out in your number to do the right thing. On the Daily Independent newspaper, 16 firms pre-qualify for 5 power plant privatization. On PDP crisis, Atiku rejects bid. We have Ben from Abuja. Good morning, Mr. Ben.
Hello?
Go on with your comment. I think we lost that. Do well to call us back, Mr. Ben. On PDP crisis, Atiku rejects bid to substitute Wike for Okowa as vice president pick. Federal government launches $2.3 trillion plan to close country's infrastructure gap. FAAN shut Lagos Airport runway till September to fix airfield lighting. Federal government considers resettlement cities for 3.2 million Nigerian refugees. On Ekweremadu, court rules kidney donor not a minor, adjourns case to August 4th. Buhari, other leaders raise $93 billion to boost economic capacity of Africa. Court disqualifies Oborevori as PDP Delta Guba candidate, recognizes a Davibi. Delta PDP calls for calm, hints on appeal. The last story on Daily Independent, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson resigns after 54 minister quits. Details can be found in page 7, and that's all on the Daily Independent.
Thank you, Tosi. Let's take a look at the Vanguard newspaper. I saw held in abusive marriage, 23-year-old orphan jailed for killing. Okay, we have another caller. Hello, Stephen from Benway. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Stephen. Please go on.
I want to tell you that the Kuje jailbreak should be properly investigated so that innocent security men who guide it will not be punished. Because the hands of the senior politicians are there. So the federal government should carry out a proper investigation to bring the culprit to book. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. Stephen, and we hope actually actions will be taken. Other stories still on Vanguard. We have Delta PDP Guba candidate court disqualified Borewori. We detailed on page 12. And on strike, federal government breaks ASU ranks, plans to release withheld salaries of medical lecturers. Detailed on page 8. And on Okwere Mado, kidney donor not a minor, UK court rules. BPE pre-qualifies 16 firms for privatization of 5 power.
We have Mr. Ben from Abuja. Good morning, Mr. Ben.
Okay, I think we lost that caller. But still on the Vanguard newspaper, BPE pre-qualifies 16 firms for privatization of 5 power plants. And the big story on the Vanguard newspaper, Kuje attack, our security system has failed. This is coming from the Senate. And the writer following that story queries lack of CCTV at facility. To summon the CG praising authorities for post-mortem. Says relevant authorities must be sanctioned. Nigeria orders siege. This is coming from Afenifere, Ohanize, the Middle Belt Forum, Pandef, and Bude George, and also the SDP and others. 51 security personnel on ground during attack. This is coming from the CG. And federal government begins probe. Okay, hello Shamal from Kaduna. Good morning.
Hello.
We can hear you, Mr. Shamal. Please go on.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hello. Good morning. Shaman calling from Kaduna.
Go on.
Hello.
Go on with your comments.
Shaman calling from Kaduna. Yes. This morning. It's as if you don't have government in Nigeria. That we don't have security. A government that came with a very good idea that they are going to improve our economy. They are going to help with the insecurity and make sure corruption stops in Nigeria. But all these things are hiking by the day. I don't know what is happening. Mr. President is busy moving from one country to the other, attaining programs here and there, and the effect cannot be felt by the citizens. What a cruel country. I pray that God, in His infinite mercy, will save our predicament in this country because we lack leadership. We pray that comes 2023, God will give us a visionary, focused, and God-fearing leader that will take us to the promise. Everyone must select.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Yes, God will definitely give us, but the ball is in our court for us to make good use of our PVC and elect good leaders that will actually take us further to greater heights. Still on Vanguard newspaper, the kidnapped Kimpi Wandume Elbawamni among escapees from Kuje prison, we detailed on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. Obi to unveil Baba Ahmed as running mate today. Gunmen attack Adamawa Reverend, kill 2 sons, abduct daughter. It's really a sad one too. So I actually read about the story where the Reverend was shot on his leg. 2 of his sons were killed. His wife is presently in coma in the hospital, and the daughter has been abducted. So we just hope that security agency in Adamawa will look into this case, and we hope that the daughter will be brought back safe and alive, because it's really sad what is happening. Okay, hello Boma from Abuja. Good morning. Boma, if you can hear me, please go on.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, please go on. You have 30 seconds.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
This is Pastor Samuel from Kaduna.
Okay, Pastor Samuel, go on.
This is Pastor Samuel from Kaduna.
Yes, please go on. We can hear you.
Yeah, Sister Sally, I want to say something, because you kept on mentioning we should use our PVC. But I just pray that our PVC should count this time around, because look at what happened during the last election when we voted and voted, in fact, for the first time in the history of Nigeria, that they have to use almost 40 senior advocates of Nigeria to decide an election. So, but my major comment is on the NAFDAC strike. You see, it calls for prayers. We believers, we children of God, should sit up now and trust to God. Because even originally, the anti-malarials you have in the pharmacy shops, most of them, how many of them are working? You will be treating malaria, drinking anti-malaria, and the thing is not working. So let us just fall back to prayers and pray that God should help us. And to those who believe in all this using leaves or herbs or whatsoever to boil them, to me it is not a sin. Since the drugs are selling and the drug agencies are going on strike now and giving room for fake drugs to be parading the market, those whose faith cannot carry them through should also look for these leaves, that God has given us, that they are for food and for treatment, to use them instead of banking on all these fake drugs that are not working. So that's just what I want to say. God bless you all.
Amen. Thank you so much, Pastor Samuel. And I need to comment. He said, we keep insisting that we should get our PVC, but how sure are we? We are very sure it will, because I keep saying God will not count our prayer requests. Neither will God count your complaints on social media. You can keep lamenting, and then when you don't do anything about it, nothing will happen. Because if our votes will not count, why do politicians keep buying votes? It's one thing for you to go pin your vote and make sure that your vote is being counted at the end of the day, and you leave the rest to God. That is where God will answer our prayers. And when we come together and unite ourselves and realize that it's not about the 5,000 that will be given to me today, neither is it even about the 100,000 that will be given to me today. You divide that 100,000 to the 4 years or even the 8 years that they will spend in office, what will be the outcome at the end of the day? So I just hope that we all wise up and realize that our PVC really counts, and we really need to get our PVC because our vote counts.
Yes, then he spoke about the NAFDAC that are presently on strike. In as much as there are so many people who resort to different ways of getting their medication, either the traditional medicine or any other thing, but we still need our system to work well. Because if all those sectors are working right, everything is working well in our country, then we'll look out for growth, and even it will have a way of affecting you positively wherever you are. So we just need our system to work right. We're not saying it's a good thing for NAFDAC to go on strike because there are other traditional medicine you can take for malaria or any other drugs, but we just need our system to work right. All sectors should do what they're supposed to do. Our children will benefit from it. We will also benefit from it. Look at the ASU strike that is still ongoing up till date. It has a way of affecting you, even if you're in school or not. It affects your children, it affects your relative. So we just need our system to work right. All sectors should do what they are supposed to do, and also their welfare should be looked into by the government. Look into their welfare. Everything should move out right, so that our country can grow, we can develop, and our economy can thrive.
Thank you so much, Tosin. Still on the Vanguard newspaper. Okay, I think we have another caller. Hello, Haruna from Castina. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, please go on.
Morning, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Go on, please.
About the PVC, this country, our vote is not counting. That is the only problem we have in this country. If our voting would be counted this time around, I believe that we are going to vote this government out of the government. Because look at after 24 hours of withdrawing military from the Kuje prison, the Kuje prison has been attacked. So according to late Abacha, anything that lasts for 24 hours, there must be a hand of the government on this. Let them explain how can Kuje be attacked.
Thank you, Haruna. Thank you so much, Haruna. And just like we said, investigation is still going. So at the end of the day, we are trusting that the people that are behind this, regardless of who you are, that the rule of law will have its place at the end of the day.
Yes, and then I would like us to erase this mentality of saying our vote will not count. Our vote will count if only you come out in your number. Because there's a census, they know the number of people, like we have a census that we're preparing for before this general election.
Okay. Hello, Abdul Karim from Kaduna. Sorry to say. Please go on with your comments.
Good morning.
Morning, Abdul Karim. Please go on.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Well, my contribution is this. If indeed Nigerian government can trace Nnamdi Kanu where he has hidden and they are able to bring him back to Nigeria and keep him in prison till date, what are you telling me about this government? Are they sincere to us? Are they sincere to us that Kuje should be attacked and they could not do anything about it? Keeping us in blackout, it doesn't care about masses. No, come on. See, do you aware that Prime Minister of UK have resigned? We refuse to follow law. But our government will enforce law on masses, on the people who are less privileged. But if they are faulty, they refuse that law, the same law, to cut up with them. They refuse to obey that same law. They claim they are following. Every one of them should remember that it's a day of judgment. Judgment of God is coming upon them. We should be aware that a day is coming, is going to stand before God and his people. Why can you be acting without even thinking twice? How on earth that you will sit down, you will be killing people all around you, you don't care about it, busy traveling up and down. This is the man that complained about previous government before their government. This is the man that cried about how much they are selling spaghetti at Kano when he was doing a campaign. This is a man who complained 2012 that Nigeria should not supposed to buy fuel more than 50 naira per liter when they want to remove fuel subsidy. As at now, no fuel. You will be in queue for hours, you don't get fuel. Then Nigeria did not learn lesson. Still agree to vote this kind of people. Allow just 2,000 and some people to choose who should be a president in this country, if not corruption. This is a country over 200 million people. And something is wrong. It has to be corrected. Let the masses wake up. Let the youth wake up. If you sell your vote, somebody give you 10,000 naira you vote, divide it by 4 years. 1 year make up 365 days times 4. Divide by that money. Except you are fooling yourself. Go wise. Don't collect money from somebody and vote such a person. The person that has mind to give you money that you should vote for him, it's your enemy. May God help us in this country.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Abdul Karim, for that sensitization and also making us to realize that, especially adding up to what you were saying, this mentality that our vote will not count. If you're okay with what is happening in the country, then you can sit back at home and not get your PVC, do not vote or do not do anything. Because statistics have shown that every year the votes keep counting. The statistics of people that turn out is dropping. But I realize with all that is happening, the bad governance, the strike, bad infrastructures, even though we have the infrastructure, one sector after the other are folding up for strike after the other. So I just hope that we'll rise up and realize that it's important that we get our PVC, it's important that we go out and vote, and it's important that we make sure that the vote counts at the end of the day. Okay, Haruna from Mukode, you're my last caller for today.
Hand for Nigeria. We don't tire with those politicians.
Hello, Haruna, is still there?
With those politicians, because those people here, if we would like to count our vote no go work. Our vote no go work. God don't come in hand, leave this country. See what thing like Mohammed, they say, US senator, say nothing like that they happen for this country. That thing, what thing they do there? We don't suffer for Buhari last 4 years. There's voter in. This country, God don't come in hand. If we like no stand, so around problem day.
Haruna, I really need to debug that thought in your mind. I really need to. It might look that way, but it's not. God has not taken his hands out of Nigeria. God's hand is still in Nigeria. And that's why we're blessed with every resources. Check around you. We have all that it takes to prosper. All that we are lacking right now is bad leadership. Presently we are going through bad leadership, and that is why things are not falling well. If you're talking about natural resources, we have it to see. If you're talking about whatever it is, just name them, we have it. All we need are good leaders, and that's why we keep saying that we need to do the right thing. Get your PVC, go out there. Your vote counts. If only you determine in your mind not to collect bribe from anybody. If you make up in your mind, you, your family, talk to your friends should talk to another friend. If we keep spreading this gospel of making sure we get our PVC and also coming out on that day to vote in our numbers, definitely our votes will count, because we are the ones that will elect them at the end of the day. They don't have a choice no matter what happens. So I just hope that we realize that our votes will count and God's hand is still in Nigeria.
It's really sad, because from Mr. Haruna's voice, you know that he is a youth. Talking about this, saying our vote will not count. We've been brainwashed with this statement that no matter what, no matter how you come out, no matter how you get your PVC, no matter how you come out in your number to vote, that your vote will not be counted. That is a lie. Because if your vote will not count, these people will not go to different local governments to go solicit for your vote. They won't go to the extent of buying your votes also. So our votes will count if only we come out in number. And like I was saying, there's going to be a census where there will be a record of the number of Nigerians, because right from the 2006 that we had the last census, there have been birth rates, there have been death rates, and there have been migration rates. So there's going to be a census to know the number of people that are in this country, and that means that your vote will count. That means that you should come out in number and not just cause mayhem around the side after casting your vote, but make sure that your vote is being counted in those polling units. So we should not be brainwashed. We should not have this idea that no matter what, your vote will not be counted. We should come out and vote. And I would like to applaud the efforts of people in places going out to get their PVC, especially the youth. But those who are still having this idea that no matter what, their vote will not be counted, please let us not carry that idea let us carry that idea, because no matter what, your vote will be counted. Just come out in number and vote, and be positive about what you voted out for. What you vote in for, your vote will count no matter what.
Thank you so much, Dosi. I think we have to call it a wrap on the Dailies this morning. Thank you so much to all our callers that call in to give us their feedback. Thank you to Mr. Augustine from Kaduna for your comment on Facebook, and to every other person that will drop his or her comment later on. Thank you so much. Remember to keep the conversation going. Drop your comment, and also keep a date with me by 7, where we shall be looking at the prison break and also other things concerning insecurity in the country. Do have a blessed weekend.